Welcome back. Well, mail across the country is piling up as workers at the post office continue to strike for better wages. The Communications Workers Union and the state-owned utility have been at loggerheads for nearly 4 months now, trying to find a suitable wage agreement. Well, joining us from our Cape Town studio this morning, we have Mmamoloko Kubayi, the Chairperson of Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Telecommunications and Postal Services. Mmamoloko, very good morning to you. Thank you for your time this morning. MPs have been told that the post office is on the brink of collapse. Are you worried at this stage?
Good morning to you and to your viewers. We are indeed worried about the state of post office, but we don't think that it can be turned around. There is still opportunity for the state to be able to save the entity.
What measures do you propose, or what measures do you envisage can be taken? I mean, this is going on for 4 months now. One would imagine that if there was a way out, it would have happened already.
The problem is that the unions need to understand, firstly, that their strike is illegal and they need to go back to work. But secondly, start negotiating in terms of how the labor laws allows them to, for example, go back to the negotiating table, declare if it's a strike, declare a strike properly. But secondly, the situation in post office, it's because prior to 2011, post office management together with the board were informed that government will be withdrawing subsidy, and both the management and the board have not taken measures to ensure that they are turning the situation around to be able to make profit and survive. And we believe that they should be able to. They don't need a bailout. What they just need is to look at what are the priorities in relating to the money that they have. If workers can wake up, and this is what we have called for in the portfolio committee, that workers must go back to work and save the institution, because they will be affected at this point in time with no revenue. Post office can run. So it's an entity that depends on revenue for it to be able to survive. So workers have to be responsible. Union leaders need to be responsible and understand that the way they are doing and the way they are conducting themselves is not appropriate. But when we are saying that, we are not even leaving the management and the board, because we feel both of them, both the management and the board, have been negligent. They have not done what is expected of them in order to make sure that post office functions effectively.
So what if anything, have you maybe gotten involved in any way to make sure that this happens, that they take responsibility and fix this in any way? Have you tried any intervention on your part?
We had a meeting with them on Friday. We expressed our views. We also told them what we think should be done. The minister was there, and the minister committed to working with the post office and making sure that the situation is turned. We have a follow-up meeting with them on the week of the 24th, where we are going to look at steps that have been taken so far since our meeting. So we will be monitoring. Remember, our responsibility as Parliament is oversight. So we do not have executive authority. We can't interfere with the running of the post office. And what we got from the minister, they was willing to get things sorted. For example, minister signed off a letter that suspends the CEO, though the chairperson of the board in the meeting was saying the CEO was on special leave. But minister proved to us as a committee that he has signed a letter that suspends the CEO of post office as a way of showing that they are serious about the matter and they want to get the situation resolved. He has intervened. He has reported to us that he has intervened to get the mail specifically relating to UNISA sorted out so that students are not affected who are writing exams. So we believe that there is intervention. Minister of Finance as well is involved to try and look and assist in terms of the finances, because even in the meeting we have raised concerns with the way the CFO is doing work, and we feel that it's one of the people that should face consequences for allowing the status of post office to reach where it is now.
Mmamoloko, it seems like the ball is in the post office's court at the moment. We had the Communication Workers Union saying earlier that they're now waiting for a response. It's nearly a week since they went to them with a sort of revised offer of around 8% collectively, and they're now waiting for a response, and they haven't had one yet.
No, the problem with Communication Workers Union, let me just explain. The unions in post office have a rep that sits in the board. And that person, in my view, has not done what they are expected to do. in protecting the interest of the workers. Secondly, in communicating the state of post office. I said to them in the meeting that I don't understand what logic are they coming up with to expect increases when the state can't even, when the entity can't even pay their salaries. That's just irresponsible for me, where I'm sitting. Workers need to make sure that at least there's generating income so that when they negotiate for increase, there's money. Post office on Friday was supposed to pay almost all their casual workers. They couldn't because there's no money. So to go and negotiate for an increase in a state where you know there's no money, I mean, that's for me irresponsible. They've been sitting in the board as workers. They are allowed that space. They should contribute positively to building that institution, not destroying it.
Mmamoloko, very quickly for us in a few seconds, have you given them a deadline as to when to sort this out?
Yes, we have given them the deadline. We are meeting them on between the 24th and 25th. We're just finalizing the actual date. But between the 24th and 25th, we will meet with them, and that's when we expect to report.
All right, thank you very much.
And we've asked them to make sure that by that time, the strike is over.
Okay, we'll catch up with you then for an update on that. Thank you very much, Mmamoloko Kubayi, Chairperson of Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Telecommunications and Postal Services.